Welcome back to another episode of the PVM focused Ultimate Ironman. In the last episode, we finally got the Magic Fang and we used it at the Chambers of Xeric. And shortly after that, we went to General Gardor to take on our second God Wars boss. In this episode, we're going to continue to take on the General Gardor, and then we're going to make our way to the City of Elves. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, this is a little bit of a change of scenery from the last clip, and that's because I have decided to take a break from Bandos. I know I said I was going to continue on, but I ended up dying 2 more times, and honestly, dying at Bandos is pretty frustrating, or dying at God Wars in general is pretty frustrating. I will come back to Bandos for sure. I actually really did enjoy the method, but I think there's just some other stuff I feel like doing right now, and the great part about my account and the stage that we're in is that I can basically go and do anything I really feel like. So what you're watching me do right now is Hunter, and the reason we're doing Hunter is because I am going to do something I said I probably was not going to do for a very long time, which is Song of the Elves. Now the reason I'm going to do Song of the Elves is because I do want to actually try and attempt the Corrupt Gauntlet. Alright, so we are just switching gears. We're going to do some Hunter. We did a little bit of Red Salamanders, but I'm going to do something a little bit more AFK because I don't have a whole lot of time to actively play right now. And yeah, I'm going to get ready to do some, I think, Monkey Tail Hunter, something like that. I don't even know where it is. It is under Deadfall, which I don't really understand what that category means, but it is 60 Hunter for maniacal monkeys on Apatol, and you have to bait them with bananas. Alright, so we are here, and I don't know if you need a specific monkey Gregory, but I got the Kruk one, and yeah, you basically just go here and you climb on a stunted demonic gorilla. And what this allows you to do is place traps around the boulder. So I don't know if it necessarily matters which one, but you can only do one boulder at a time. So typically you probably just want to do like one towards the center. And yeah, you basically set up a trap with a banana and you just sit here and wait. And it's really AFK because that's about it. And the monkeys don't really give you much. All right, and with this check, we will hit 70 Hunter. Alright, and that is Morning Zen Part 1 done. This was a extremely annoying quest, only because you need to get a magic log, and I did not realize that, and I had 70 woodcutting. So I tried to boost 4 or 5 different times and use my dragon axe to cut a single magic log, and I could not get a single magic log. Alright, so we are here in the Mourner's Cave, or I don't know, whatever you call this place, but yeah, this is where we're going to be for a little bit of time because we need to get the Death Talisman from the Dark Beast. I am pretty sure that even if we go dry for this, it is still much faster than the 50 junk items you can get assigned to you during the quest. So yeah, we're gonna stick this out. Alright, so we got the Death Talisman. That did not take too long. It took 192 kills. So yeah, we have the Death Talisman, which again for Morning Zen Part 2 is a big deal because if you don't have this and you don't have 90 Slayer in order to get it, then you have to retrieve 50 items from a list of junk items, and some of them are RNG based and can be incredibly annoying to get. I will say one of the craziest things is this plugin. I didn't start using this until very recently because I honestly have not been doing that many quests, and I don't think it existed when I was first doing quests with this account. But it's crazy that it just tells you basically exactly what to do. And it even, like, if you don't understand whatever reason these, symbols and whatnot, it tells you directly basically through the chat box of what you need to do, which is just seriously wild. And that is Morning Zen Part 2 completed. And yeah, it's way simpler with the Death Talisman. It's much faster. And honestly, with the Quest Helper extension in Runelight, it's really nice. The quest was pretty straightforward. So we are finally at the final boss of Song of the Elves. And so I think we just descend into the cave and then we end up fighting Saren. So yeah, I mean, we're going with a relatively unconventional setup. I do not have blood spells, which I know blood spells are highly recommended for this fight because of the huge draining effect based on the percentage of your max HP, which I have a lot of brews for, so I'm hoping that this is enough. Alright, so we killed the boss first try. It was actually a lot simpler than I remembered it being. Alright, and that is officially the Song of the Elves completed. But yeah, the quest is done, and we got 20,000 experience and a lot of skills, which is nice. And we hit 250 quest points. So first things we're going to do is we are going to relocate, and we're going to put this in Prifddinas, which is 50,000 GP. And that means when we teleport to our house, we will arrive here, which is nice because otherwise, if we don't have this house portal, there are no real close teleports to get here. You would have to end up running through Tyranwan. What is next for this account? Well, we pretty much already said it. We are going to be doing the gauntlet, and I don't really have any intention to 100% commit to this grind, but I do want to give it a fair chance and see how it goes, and see how hard it is to learn the Corrupt Gauntlet, how exhausting it is. I have heard a lot about doing Corrupt Gauntlet. I've never actually done the Corrupt version. I did do the regular version a fair amount, I think maybe like 30 or 40 KC on my old Ironman account, so I am relatively familiar with how the Gauntlet works, but obviously I don't know all of the strategies and efficient methods of doing it. And I know with the Corrupt version, you need to be fairly efficient with your pathing and how you plan everything out and whatnot. The nice part about this is that overall, for Ultimate Ironman, it's nice because this activity does not really require you to do anything special. And by that I mean, you don't have to worry about what gear you're wearing or what's in your inventory. The gauntlet will hold all of your items for you, including what's in your looting bag. So you can just do this as much as you want and not really worry about it. Alright, so we were able to complete the gauntlet, or the corrupted gauntlet I should say, on our first attempt actually, which is very cool. We got the cape, which is interesting. I think this can be stored in the house. It's a pretty unique looking cape for Oldschool Runescape, and yeah, it's cool that we got it done on our first try. I did do the tier 2 prepping guide. Alright, we just did our second Corrupt Gauntlet, basically the same time, but we did get a Crystal Armor Seed already, which is surprisingly 8 million GP. But overall, I think I'm doing relatively okay. I think I'm wasting a bit of time. I can probably speed this up a little bit, maybe like 30 seconds or so, I would assume. Okay, it's been a little bit since we have recorded a clip, because this content takes quite a while and it's pretty draining, but I figured I would show my scoreboard now. So we are up to 23 KC and 17 deaths, so we have more completions than deaths now. And overall, we've been doing pretty well. I think actually in the last maybe 10 completions or so, we have only failed once. I guess honestly I'll just mention that there probably isn't going to be a whole lot of clips for this grind. This grind is extremely plain and simple. Well, we got a crystal weapon seed. So that is not the one we want, but it is a collection log slot. So I guess if we open up and we go to the gauntlet, so that's 3 of the 5 slots filled up, which is nice. And we can trade in our crystal weapon seed for 10 shards. So I guess we'll just be doing that because there really isn't a purpose for it. We can always go ahead and buy a crystal bow or a crystal shield whenever we need to. Alright, we are up to 50 KC, so we completed a Grandmaster combat task, the Corrupted Gauntlet Grandmaster. And yeah, these are our stats, 50 completions and up to 23 deaths. Alright, this is not a level I was expecting to get for some time, but That is 80 farming, which is not really an interesting level. There isn't really a whole lot you get from that, but it does look like a nice round even number. All right. Well, that was perfect timing. We got our second crystal armor seed. So as you can see on screen, this is the loot from 100 Gauntlet. This includes the regular Gauntlet as well. I don't think Runelight differentiates whether or not you're doing Corrupt Gauntlet versus regular Gauntlet, but this is both the 1 KC I got from the regular Gauntlet, plus all of the failed attempts or ones that I died. And I guess if we go and look at the scoreboard real fast, we can see that I have 71 completions and 26 deaths. Nice. So we have the crystal legs. And I don't know how many charges this comes with. I guess we can check. It comes with 2,500 charges, which is actually really good. All right, so that is the perfect corrupted Hunlef master combat task. All right, we just finished another kill. We're at 87 now, but that puts us at a over 10 million GP cash stack so far generated from just about 87 kills. Sweet. We got another crystal armor seed that was on KC 92. So that's really good. That was one of our fastest kill times of the actual boss, I think. 3 minutes and 16 seconds. It was a pretty fast kill. All right, that's KC 98, and we just got another crystal weapon seed. So we're gonna go actually turn these in. All right, that is KC 99, and that is another crystal weapon seed. Unfortunately, not 2 crystal armor seeds potentially. So I guess if we look at the log, we are at 3 armor seeds and 4 crystal weapon seeds. KC 134, and that was another crystal armor seed. KC 144, and as you can see, we got our third and I guess sort of final crystal armor seed. We did get this one really quickly. I don't remember the KC actually of the second one of these 3. But I believe it's been like less than maybe 10 or 15 KC. So again, the legs require 2 armor seeds, the helmet requires 1, and the chest piece requires 3. I think the Corrupt Gauntlet is very interesting PVM content because it teaches you a lot of things. It teaches you, keeping track of resources, counting for different attack styles, dodging tornadoes, understanding player movement, and overall, I think it's super helpful for learning and being comfortable with a lot of other PVM content in the games. Yeah, that's kind of it, and that's where we're going to wrap up with the content. So we are going to need to go and suicide to Hespori so I can start cutting these gems, and I'll need to drop them, and then we'll be slowly doing some other things to get ourselves ready for finishing up crafting. So if we look at our entire cash stack, we are up to 48.5 million GP, which is a huge cash stack. So we are ready to do some crafting. Again, we're really close to 86. And so I bought 1,000 casts of super glass make and see how far that gets us. I think that'll be enough. I'm hoping it should be enough. If not, I'll just go and get more. But yeah, we're going to do it at this dock outside of Prif. Just seems like a convenient enough place. And I actually have tile markers from the last time I did this. So if I enable all of these, this should actually be exactly what we need. So we can buy 10 of each, and then we can super glass make and then craft these, and I believe this will be the option right here for lantern lenses, and that is 87 crafting. All right, so we're alching the rune crossbow. Fortunately, that's really easy to get back if we ever need it, and we're going to alch the Karo's leather skirt. So yeah, that is another piece gone, but it also means that we freed up an additional couple of backspaces when we get our inventory organized. All right, so we are ready to do our first trip back, and we're going to be using the crystal bow with the crystal armor, so this will be interesting just to test. And I guess if we look at our gravestone, we can see that we killed 51 demonic gorillas. All right, well, that was actually much faster than I thought. We definitely got pretty lucky here at demonic gorillas, considering the luck on our first Zenite, and this actually only took, I don't know, like 100 more kills to get our next Zenite shard, which is really the only one we're after, at least for now. Actually, I totally forgot. We can always, of course, just go here to Glow's experiments. So 146 KC in total for 2 Zenites. So in order to combine our Zenite shard, or I guess make it into the uncut Zenite, we need to actually have a cut onyx already on us. So that means we're going to need to buy some chaos runes. If we look, we have the 5,000 already from when we were doing Corrupt Gauntlet. So Yeah, we're just going to buy the remaining, which I believe is like 23,000 more runes. Okay, so it's been a while since I've done this, but I believe you use this on the Wall of Flame. Fuse your Onyx and Zenyte shard together. Yes, fuse them, and that gives us an uncut Zenyte, which is exactly what we need. And there it is. There is the Necklace of Anguish, which I have never had on an account before, actually. This is the first time I'm ever getting it. And it does look really cool. So compared to the Fury gives good attack bonuses overall and really good defense bonuses and average strength and prayer. However, this gives slightly less prayer, but it does give range strength and higher ranged attack accuracy. So for a lot of content, it's actually really good where defense bonuses do not matter. There is some content in the game where having a Fury can be better and having higher defense can be better. And for general purpose things, the Fury is really good, but if you're ever trying to increase range DPS, the Anguish is a very valuable item to have, so that is why we got it, and yeah, the +5 range strength is going to be very nice. And now that we have this completed, we are going to go and get ready to try and do Bandos again. So this is kind of what our setup is going to look like. I figured I'd just highlight it. I still need to get the crystal bow out of the stash, but this is basically what we're going to go in with armor-wise. I am going to use the Slayer helmet. Alright, I kind of suck at recording, but that is Bandos Tacets at KC87. That was actually my fastest kill, I think, ever as well. I guess we can pull up General Grardor. And that is what our collection log is looking like now. And wow, pretty lucky. 88 KC. Technically, the drop rate of any of these three items, the chestplate, the tassets, and the boots, is 1 in 127 to get any of them, and it's 1 in 384, I believe, to get a specific piece. Alright, I've kind of sat around for a while and thought about it, and I think I'm going to go back to raids, actually. Now, I know it sounds kind of weird because I just got this drop, and I just got a Godsword Shard 1, so we have 2 of the 3, but for now, I think what I want to focus on is getting Rigor and Augury, or primarily Rigor because that will help a lot. And then once I have that, I can go and finish the Godsword. Yeah, so we had 26 KC when we left off, so we're going to start from there, and that's pretty early on in Chambers as well. Hopefully we can get Rigor pretty early. That would be really nice because Rigor is used at a lot of places. All right. We are officially ready to go back to the Chambers of Xeric. Other than that, we obviously have the crystal armor now and the crystal bow, not the bofa, but we have the crystal bow and we got the Necklace of Anguish. So that is for our range setup is basically completely different and hopefully noticeably better. All right, well, first raid in. Back at the Chambers of Xeric, and we got a purple, but I saw what it was already. It was a Din's Bulwark. So we officially have a heavy shield that I am not certain what we would ever do with this. It's kind of funny. I don't know if it has any real purpose, but I will probably look into it and see. Literally every single one of them, like actually every single one. This is the probably most worthless to have on an Ultimate Iron Man. On a regular Iron Man, there might be some specific uses just because you can keep it in the bank. For an Ultimate Iron Man, I cannot see a use for this. All right, we just completed a solo raid and we actually hit a PB. We hit 39 minutes and 21 seconds, and this is with extra prep and with a suicide at Olm for the brews and the potions and all that, and that's pretty good, I think. We definitely could get it down further. We could probably hit somewhere between 35 and 36 minutes, I feel like. But I feel like I'm hitting this point again where I'm not really satisfied with the way solos are going. So with that being said, I am not really sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a little bit of a break to kind of think about what I'm going to do.